There's only one place you want to be on a Sunday night, and that's on Scorecard on Citi TV. It's been an interesting week. In the Merseyside lands, the pressure is heavy on Jurgen Klopp's neck. He and Liverpool lost again in another big game, this time to Arsenal Football Club. On the side of Cristiano Ronaldo, he was making history, scoring his 700th club goal in football, and he did it in a game that brought Man United 3 points as well. Haaland says that there's no World Cup, so he will score all his goals before everybody else goes on the World Cup. So he is still doing his thing. Arsenal Football Club still remain top of the table. In Germany, there was the derby, Borussia Dortmund taking on Bayern Munich, and it was right at the death. Borussia Dortmund getting an equalizer. There's a certain video where Oliver Kahn was reacting to going down to that equalizer. It's absolute bliss if you watch it. And then there was also some intense action in the Italian Serie A. The Spanish La Liga also had its own action. Real Madrid were up against Getafe. We have all that and more for you on the show. On the domestic side of things, Accra Hearts of Oak. They went to Mali and got absolutely pasted by AS Real Bamako. So there's all of that coming up on the show. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'll introduce my brothers, and then we'll get today's conversation going. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Citi TV. My name is Benjamin Nketsia. Our text and WhatsApp lines will be up on your screens. My Twitter handle is up on your screens as well. So get on me and let's get talking. Daniel Koranteng is here. Coach Christopher Nimley is here. Gentlemen, what's going on? What's going on here today? Is this the new greeting for the show?
It's number 700. That's the way.
Oh, you mean that is how you celebrate greatness?
Of course.
Oh.
Today there wasn't. Some people were tweeting he's forgotten how to see. No.
Today was a solemn day.
Solemn day.
Yes. Solemn.
Deserving a humble celebration.
Oh, Charlie. I love it.
It's never happened before.
I love it. 700. Some people are saying things like somebody is just a few goals behind. I'm like, I did it first.
It is not about that.
I entered the history books first. So that's what this is about.
Simple.
That's what this is about. Let's come down home. It's not too pleasant at home, but let's come down home. Accra Hearts of Oak, Ghana's only representative in the CAF competitions, were up against AS Real Bamako this weekend. That game was on Saturday. They lost that game by 3-0. It was 2-0 at halftime. AS Real Bamako added a third goal in the second half, and then it was curtains. Honestly, it will take a miracle to get back into this tie. Let me start with you, Coach. AS Real Bamako, I'm sure you knew this was always going to be a difficult tie, but clearly you didn't expect Hearts of Oak to get beat by 3-0.
I wasn't surprised they lost the game by 3-0. Because again and again, Nketsia, there's so many things we've been saying over the years where people who are expected to know better turn around and behave in a way that leave all of us a bit stunned. I say, these people, are they correct? Or they've got serious problems. Look, this team is bigger than any individual.
Yeah.
We sat here last week and I pleaded that you gave me 1 minute.
Yeah.
Everything I said last week came to pass. That if this is the way Hearts of Oak is going to be run, then Hearts of Oak should forget about every other thing they are doing. And I'm going to conclude, for so long as Odote, Alaji Akambi, Dr. Nyao Tamaklo sits on the board of, because I hardly hear other board members speak.
But they are the movers and shakers of the team.
So for as long as they stay there, look, they should forget it. Domestically, things are not going on well. It took you close to 12 years to win a proper league title. That manager who did that for you had a bit of a patchy run. at the end of last season, but even still managed to win you the FA Cup.
Yeah.
This season started. He had a very uncertain preseason. And from the fixture list that came out, they were to play Kotoko away, Aduana away, and Great Olympics at home. By far, these are your three most difficult games on the fixtures. He lost to Aduana last season in Doma. He drew. That is progress.
Yeah.
He lost to Kotoko last season.
Yeah.
This season, he drew.
Draw again.
That is progress. He lost the first round game to Great Olympics last season. This one, he drew. That, I think
Hearts haven't beaten Olympics since 2020.
Last season he lost, this season he drew. It's a Diana game that
was lost. That was progress. You've always been beaten at Aduana. Most often than not, you get beat. Whoever the coach is, you get beat. Now, if Samubuedu's job couldn't speak for him, there's no reason why Akambi should still be at post. There's no reason why Odote should still be at post. There's no reason why that board should not be dissolved completely. Because this level of humiliation, look, Nketsia, is unacceptable.
3-0.
In 4 minutes, they had considered the first goal.
Yeah.
And I was like,
what's going on
am I
there?
truly hearing right?
Yeah.
Or I've got some eardrum problems? Then I listened again. Hasselhoff down in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
These are things that happen in football. But I'm not sure Samubuedu team would have considered against this Bamako team.
Yeah. And again, they're not a big team in Mali.
They're not. I think we are used to see Joliba or something. What is the name of that team?
Fifth in the league.
They finished fifth in the league. And if you look at the quality that has put on the pictures, they needed proper guidance. Look, we thought the game would be shown live. We didn't get, but from the commentary that we all listened to, it was clear the Hasselhoff were all over the place in 6s and 7s. Not knowing what they were doing. Completely, do I use the word being misled or not being coached properly? How do you go to an away game, I hear the referee blows the whistle, you are their home team, at away team, then boom, free, no remote control, nobody is controlling the movement of anybody. Even robots, I repeat, even robots don't behave haphazardly, or they don't run over as if they don't know what they are doing. Me, as I sit here today, do I think they will overturn the 3-0 deficit? I don't think so. It is not within the DNA of this team.
This team is struggling to create.
Samubuedu gave this team a mentality. And especially when key players in the team always left at crucial moment. You expect what Samubuedu was. But you can clearly see that look, even the players, do you know what? To Akambi and Odote and Doctor, the players were not happy about the sacking of Samubuedu. They didn't like it. I have spoken to as many as 12 of the first team players. They all said they were not consulted. Yes, they need not be consulted. But in the modern game, normally, usually, what is naturally being done now, you want to score in the captain. What do you think? Are you being properly guided by this man?
You and I know that's not going to happen. Especially in the context of Accra House.
Look, in that second leg, Elijah Kambe is number 9. Leba strike. I am telling you honestly. He leads the attack. Odote in midfield. Odote in midfield. Dr. Nyotamaklu on the bench as the technical. Because clearly Oklu needs proper guidance. Clearly, Coach Oklu, he needs to be guided as to how the team, because he's already on record to have said that he went there to see what will happen. He didn't believe that. Perfectly, he needs to give an excuse that I've just trained with them 3 days.
Yep.
So Dr. Nyao Tamaklo, who clearly understands coaching, because even when Samobwedu was winning trophies, he was on one radio station to the next radio, telling the whole country that Samobwedu doesn't know what he's doing. So in that second leg, he has to coach the team.
You mean Akambi must strike?
No, Akambi a legend number 9. Topmost striker. In 30 minutes, he have to redeem all that 3 goals.
Hat-trick.
Quick, hat-trick. The fastest hat-trick in the history of Accra as a folk. Akambi will have to do that. And all the assists from Odote, sublime. From Odote.
You mean he must control the game?
Looking, he should control the tempo. No, pa, Odote, no, pa, Odote, Akambi, sra. Look, the supporters of this team will not accept such mediocre, lackluster performance from them. Why should this be accepted?
They've apologized.
To whom?
And it's become a thing. Teams go play bad,
That's-
and then
is it-
they
when
come
I-
and issue statements of
When I
apology.
say if Samobwedu's job in 18 months couldn't get him to stay in the job,
Yeah.
they should all be sacked. The board dissolve. Togbe should get Elijah Kambi off the payroll, Odete off the payroll. Now Tamaklo, he's a board member, well-established businessman. He's got cash, but his ideas are completely archaic. I will say it here. the years where he brought in, I've forgotten that the musical youth. Or
Yeah.
I've forgotten
The famous clean out.
Yes. It's more than 35, 40 years now. Ameshije. No more. They should just exit honorably. Look, even at the age of doctor, should he be mingling in House of Folk business as we speak? Because if you can sack a manager like this, and you saw no other manager, nobody better
Yeah.
than a manager whose record will clearly tell you that he doesn't befit the standard of the team, you can bring him. They sack Boadu without even having a plan B. Why would you sack a coach and not knowing who the next
They are
manager
still
is?
negotiating for the new coach.
Can you imagine that?
They're still
That is why the board should be dissolved. And at times, this man from Nigeria, what is the name? I've forgotten his name.
Frank Nelson.
These are people who spend money, but you hardly hear them speak.
Yep.
When he speaks lots of sense. So if all of them are there and such decisions are being made to completely destroy this club, then you want to look back and say, are they afraid of certain people? The bottom line is, in 30 minutes in that return leg, if Odote doesn't give Akambi 3 penetrating passes for him to redeem those goals, they will look at
Daniel.
They have archaic ideas. They don't deserve to be where they are. Because look, in 12 years,
Yeah.
it was Boadu who brought smile on your faces.
Yep.
You had nothing to show than the Oba Ahima Ejewa Cup in 12 years. Oba Ahima Ejewa Cup, that was the only tangible that the Tope after the administration could show to the House of Folk supporters as title. Boadu walks in there, in 18 months, he gives them how many trophies?
5.
5 trophies. And every single moment, anytime Dr. Nyao Tamaklo got the opportunity to speak about Boadu, he condemned his work. Look at what you people have done. Absolutely disgraceful, unacceptable. In 30 minutes, if they don't redeem that goal, in 30 minutes, you'll be 3-0. That's a full quick. Then in the second half,
Yeah.
Odote himself will go and complete the route. 4-0. It is time we tell them that the manner in which they are managing the club is bad and they should stop it. If they can't, they should get out. Because they themselves, they have been paid. But look, the money
right.
that Togbe Afede is spending on this thing,
Yeah.
what is that?
They deserve better
They
than
deserve better than this. Sack them and come and employ me. I'll do a better job. I will do a simple, better job than what they are doing. I'm telling you.
Very emphatic, Daniel. Coach says that unless the board members take center stage to rescue this game is a foregone conclusion. Are there any positives to be salvaged from this game? I mean, what can you salvage out of this situation?
Look, I'm happy coach has delivered his submission with so much passion, because I was speechless yesterday.
I saw you on Twitter. You
I was
literally-
struggling.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think I've had a longer type delete moment like yesterday.
I didn't even have time to even Twitter.
No, It was that because I'll type, I'll read over. I'm like, nah, it's not appropriate, and I have to delete. And I type. It was very painful because look, I'm speaking to the fans of Hearts of Oak. Cast your mind back to when Boadu was in charge. Every time that board member got the opportunity to talk about him, he always mentioned the fact that Boadu is not good enough for Africa. He's not good enough for Africa. He can't take us anywhere in Africa.
Boadu had fostered indiscipline among the players.
He's not good enough. He can't take us to Africa. Then he was sacked, giving us the impression that whoever was coming in
an upgrade on him
is coming to do something better in Africa. Now think about this. This is not the CAF Champions League that Hearts of Oak played last season. Nope. This is the Confederation Cup prelims. This is the lowest of the lows.
Yep.
And Hearts of Oak has gone to Bamako and gone to swallow 3, digest 3 goals, and have brought it back to Accra. Now, if you were bent on impressing in Africa this season, and you sack Samuel Boadu, look at all the serious coaches in the world, all the serious clubs in the world. When Chelsea sacked Tuchel, it took 2 days for Graham Potter to start work. It was already done because they understood the job at hand. You don't sack a manager and start looking. Even if you sack somebody, the interim who is coming in should be of a certain pedigree. At least his CV should talk. I'm not saying that automatically when he comes in, he's supposed to come and bring results.
But his CV should be worthy of the position.
Exactly.
No more.
If you look at the body of work that Oklu has done, last season's Ghana Premier League, in the first half of the season, the lowest recorded points, Liberty were rock bottom.
He had already relegated Liberty.
I think it was 9 or 10 points in the first round. In the second round, the total contrast of that. And every Liberty fan listening to me knows that what I'm saying is true. Had they got a point more in the first half of the season, they would have survived. He was part and parcel. In fact, 75 to 80% responsible for their relegation last season. Then he goes to be assistant coach of your rivals. Then you sack your head coach, who had won 5 trophies in 18 months, and bring the former assistant coach of your rivals, who was not good enough to manage a Ghana Premier League team, and put him in charge of your Africa assignment. What kind of thinking is that? And you expect to excel? You take 3-0 in the first leg, a team that is already lost, bereft of confidence. How are they going to respond in the second leg? You see, for me, it's sad because when these things happen, it's the fans who suffer. That's what hurts me. When the team loses and the team is being embarrassed, it's the fans who suffer. And especially when it happens under circumstances which are very avoidable. If a group of people, you see, you can't run a football club with emotions. You can't run it with ego. And you can tell with the utterances that were made, it was just because they don't like Boadu. So we don't like you, I will show you, and you sacked him. But with no proper plan in place to make sure that the thing you are responsible for is continuing to bring that success.
To the picture of Awaku. Awaku looking at. I think he was look at you looking at the clue. Me no show me. What are you teaching me? What is this? Look at Awaku face.
No, that's not what Awaku was saying.
Is that is a clue? What is that? Come on, what is this? Oh, Charlie, look at the face of the player. What sort of instruction is this?
It's so painful and upsetting. But the picture that interests me is Barnier's picture.
Yes. If we could go to the Barnier's one.
You are giving Barnier extra large to weigh. And you expect him to
no.
You go to the Barnier picture.
Extra large. Look at the jersey Barnier.
Look at where the jersey is.
Jesus Navas was thriving in this extra large jersey back in the day.
This is what you were wearing in 2002. Look at where the sleeve is.
Is this proper a Puma jersey?
It's an Umbro.
Is it proper?
It's the proper one, but it's extra large.
Barnier likes his stuff big.
No, Barnier doesn't. We've seen Barnier in Hearts of Oak. What is it? Look at the shorts. Look at it.
It's like a jumper.
I'm telling you.
That's the Hearts of Oak situation. 3-0.
It's like a dress.
They have the return leg coming up very soon in Accra.
They don't qualify. You know what I said?
No.
In 30 minutes,
I
can be
hat-trick.
3 assists from Odote.
Quick.
40, in the second half, 15 minutes to go. Odote will finish the route. If they don't do that, no more.
Accra Hearts of Oak have it all to do in that second leg against AS Real Bamako. Like Coach has said, he has specified what he wants in the second leg. When we come back, we'll jump into the EPL. Lots of highlights, lots of goals to show you. Stay with us. Welcome back to Scorecard here on Citi TV. Just before we get on to the foreign stuff, let me read a few messages. This one here says that, good evening, guys. Great show. Honestly speaking, the earlier the people running football in this country realize there is nothing like football in this country, the better for them, because our club teams don't seem ready for Africa. And as for Hearts of Folk and Honorable Odote Akambi and Dr. Tamaklo, they should bow their heads down in shame. These are the people destroying Accra Hearts of Folk. We need to be serious in this country. You can't be running a football club as if it's a dancing competition where you do it anyhow. They need to wake up and stop snoring.
They should just leave. They should just
Raul from Kaswa,
they should just
a sports journalist with that one.
They should just leave there.
This one here says, this one's from Sir Ike from Gomoa, France. It says, Man United are gradually heading towards the right direction. Anthony is a fantastic signing for the team. Again, this one here from Daniel Osei Amankwa from Sunyani. Shout outs to the people in Sunyani. He says, a very special evening to you, Ben, Coach, and Daniel. Really feels good being a Ghana, my second love after Barcelona. Personally feel we will contend for the Premier League with this mindset and can-do spirit. Let's see what the season offers. Come on, you Ghanaians, you say. This one says, Scorecard, Papa from Rabito inside in Kwanta in the Oti region. Ziblim says that, why wasn't the handball in the Arsenal 18-yard box a penalty? Thanks. I think you're referring to one of the incidents from the Liverpool-Arsenal game. Ransford from La Paz says that darling Chelsea is gradually picking form. Hope it continues. Abraham from Bremen Isikuma says that can't wait to listen to Coach fire the Phobia team for their abysmal performance. Well, he's done that already. This one here from Dominic from Oyibi Bush Canteen Down says, in fact, it is time for our traditional leaders to leave our two biggest clubs alone for us. I mean, Accra Hearts of Folk and Asante Kotoko. They should sell these clubs to foreign investors to compete at the highest level. It's not about quality. It's not about quality or quantity. Football comes with huge investments, okay? More messages coming through. I'll read a few more of them in a bit. But let's now turn our attention to the English Premier League. Let's get to the Emirates, where Arsenal Football Club continue to tell everybody that they are serious about the title this season. They beat Liverpool by 3-2. So Bukayo Saka getting on the score sheet twice. Martinelli getting the other goal. Darwin Núñez getting on the score sheet for Liverpool. It was not enough. Daniel, let me start with you on this one. Jurgen Klopp looks like a defeated man. I saw him in the presser. He was pulling out all types of explanations to justify this game. He's come under pressure for benching Fabinho in this game as well.
Yeah. Look, that was a big mistake. Big mistake. First of all, let's look at it from the common sense point of view.
Okay.
Your team is struggling, 1. 2, your team is conceding goals. They concede when they face their rivals or teams that are considered close to them. They face United, they conceded 2. They face Napoli, they conceded 4. Last week against Brighton, they conceded 3. You've been so porous this season. The best thing you can do for your porous back four is to give them some certain level of protection. That is 1. Now, when you look at the team they were going to face, that's Arsenal. You look at the fact that no team has dominated Arsenal this season when Thomas Partey starts with Xhaka. Nope. That is where Arsenal, that's the soul of Arsenal, that midfield. And once you are not able to break that midfield, that is it for you. So then, that's why you need an extra midfielder in there in the first place to be able to combat and try and win that midfield battle. But he didn't do that. And I said it last week, he looks very confused. And he's taking some decisions that are very funny and very weird. He started, it's like when Liverpool were on the attack, it was almost like a 4-2-4. There was Salah, there was Jota, there was Darwin Núñez, there was Luis Diaz. All of them running at Arsenal. So as soon as Liverpool lost the ball, they were there for the taking. The midfield was bare. Henderson, Thiago don't have the legs. They don't have that defensive awareness, that positioning to stick in and place themselves at areas of the pitch where they can just nick the ball off the opposition. And if you saw both goals, the first 2 goals were from counter-attacks. Liverpool looked like they were going for a misplaced pass from, I think, Jota. And all of a sudden, it's turned over. Saka hits the ball. He cuts into midfield. And if you pause the frame at when Saka drove into midfield, there's this zone, like the heart of the midfield, around the D, into the center circle. That whole area was full of red shirts. There was no white shirt around there. So you could see Liverpool players on the left-hand side of the screen. And then this is it.
Now look at the three. It's literally a 4-on-1.
Exactly. So the white shirts are all in the box. Liverpool, Arsenal shirts are where the danger is, in the heart of it. So once they cut inside, he had so many options in Odegaard could have so many options to slip a ball in, and he did that and he scored. So Klopp is making some very funny decisions. But what interests me and what I absolutely loved about today's game was two things Arteta did. First one was playing Tomiyasu at left back. We've seen managers go for inverted fullbacks to try and combat specialists who are able to cut in. Because what it means is that Salah is left-footed. When he cuts in, he's going on Tomiyasu's right side because Tomiyasu is right-footed. So it's more comfortable for him to make that tackle. As against playing against a left back where you cut inside and he needs to readjust his body. So Tomiyasu absolutely pocketed Salah. If you are looking for Salah, contact Tomiyasu. He's
no goal, no assist.
Nothing.
Barely had any touch in the game.
He was completely lost. Every move he tried to make, Tomiyasu was there to close him down. And that was thinking. Because when you look at the team sheet and you are asking yourself, why are you it's like you are limiting your attacking potential from the left-hand side by sitting Tierney down. But what he did was to stifle Mohamed Salah. And what he did was take out one player. Liverpool were literally playing with 10 men, with Salah on the pitch. That was it. And the second one was the instruction we've seen throughout this season. That extra runner that is constantly making his way into the box. And that extra runner is not necessarily going into the box to go and score. It is a decoy. We've seen Xhaka do it. But today, the second goal, if you can show it again, the run from Gabriel, that was what made the goal. He kept on running, and he knew the ball wasn't coming to him. But he kept on going. And he took Liverpool defenders along with him, freeing up space for Saka, who was making the late run into the box. And then for a centre-back to have the awareness.
So we have it again
Look at Gabriel. He's just going. He's running. This is centre-back. He doesn't need to make the run. He's running. He's still in the box. Drawing attention. And now Tsimikas has to go and take him. Now look at the awareness from a centre-back. He dummies the ball, knowing full well that Saka was right behind him. And that is, first of all, incredible instruction from the manager, which is being deployed on the pitch, which is being followed through on the pitch. And the player also applying himself to that. And you can see they've drilled themselves on the training ground.
So good.
For Gabriel, look, a centre-back, he just knew Saka was behind him. And to have that skill and that awareness to dummy the ball. Look, it was... When this goal went in, I just clapped my hand. Like, this is vintage Arsenal. It reminds me of Wenger when he spoke about 6 seconds in getting the ball from defense to attack. Look at how quick the transition was in both goals. And I feel like Arteta is getting Arsenal back to where they want to be. But clearly, you have to beat what is in front of you. And I said it, if Arsenal could maneuver through the next 2 weeks, which was against Tottenham and against Liverpool, their fixture list looks very good. And they could easily be on top by World Cup. And if they are on top by World Cup, trust me, it will be a very difficult time for Man City and everybody else when we come back from the World Cup.
Coach, let's talk more about Liverpool. Klopp still, like Daniel was saying, making strange decisions or taking strange decisions, benching one of the best midfielders in the world in a game like this, but Mohamed Salah as well. I mean, I simply cannot think about Liverpool's poor form without thinking about him, because every time Liverpool have been in good form, he's been synonymous with the good form. So now he's not scoring, now he's not getting enough touches. We have to mention his name as well.
No, you have to blame the manager for whatever is going on. Blame him 100% for why Mohamed Salah
is not scoring.
Is not performing. Because at the end of the day, this is a player who was by far the best goal scorer in the team. Averaging in the league 20 plus goals consistently for 3 seasons. All of a sudden, Darwin Núñez comes into the picture and he's been turned into an assist master. So if you can cut the supply to him, which Arsenal did perfectly well today, he's not going to get an assist to Darwin Núñez. So even look at that first goal that Liverpool scored. It was the left winger. What's the name again? Luis Diaz. Who came onto the Salah side of the pitch to get involved. And again, I told you last week that Klopp is confused. Maybe, I think he's hit the peak with Liverpool. Maybe he should go on.
He's in a desperate situation. So he's trying stuff.
Maybe he should tell the people that, look, I want to go have a sabbatical, refresh the machine. When the Bayern Munich job is ready, then he goes and he takes it. Because, of course, every German dream is to coach Bayern Munich.
I mean, Klopp will get the Bayern job if he's available.
Because, again, the decision to bench Fabinho and play with Henderson and Thiago. We all know Fabinho brings the best out of Thiago and Gatara. Because he picks up the ball, he breaks up the move and gives it to Thiago, and the tempo is dictated. Now, if you are playing against Arsenal, I completely disagree with the 4-2-4 that he went for. And the 4 was such that they were all flat. So they were all doing this.
Yeah.
So the moment Arsenal were able to, and shockingly, they were not pressing the ball like Liverpool would normally do.
Liverpool's press has disappeared. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist anymore.
Completely. Because if you've got 4 men ahead in that attacking third, defensively, they've got job to do. They should not just wait on, because anytime, if you go back to the first goal that Arsenal scored, Thiago was a bit unsure whether to commit or not to commit. I blame him for that, because tactically, he knew he was not. No, if we could take it back a bit more, before the ball got to, this is the ball. He shouldn't have committed here. He should have stayed in that position and waited. Because there was no way he was going to win the ball off Xhaka, who gave the ball to Saka to start the move. So again, you put him in a position that he's not. A Fabinho would have stayed there. A Fabinho, on looking at the where Arsenal was, where Saka had the ball, would have tended to look at what was happening behind him. Henderson completely went to sleep. This is what I said. It took Luis Diaz.
He's not even in the picture.
Not even in the picture here.
That's very crazy. Like, Liverpool are attacking on the counter.
So you see,
Salah isn't in the attacking frame.
Tactically, something has changed. That is what Mohamed Salah is not performing. Because throughout his stay at Liverpool, he will either be the one giving this assist or he's been at the end of the move when Sadio Mane was there. So I don't know what the instruction is at the moment. That is completely. But how can you play a system that completely neutralizes your best goal scorer? So the manager is supposed to be blamed. And the decision again not to start Gomez ahead of Alexander-Arnold, he's had some very difficult moments. Even in the second, look at what he just went to do.
Trent can't. I think his confidence is just gone.
As to why he decided to go and join Henderson without communicating, you could claim he just ran there. And Martinelli saw that he was coming to block the channel. But if he had communicated that I have him, Henderson would have concentrated on the Martinelli's comeback, and then he would have blocked the move. But he went without communicating.
How much more rope do you think Jurgen Klopp has?
I think they play Man City next.
They have a Champions League game at the Ibrox against Rangers, and then there's Manchester City at Anfield.
Look, I think if they don't win that, or if they don't get something from that, personally, I said last week, they're out of the title race.
If 14 points behind Arsenal now.
Already. And if they don't get something out of Man City, and it doesn't look like they will, top 4 becomes an issue. And I think the owners should be looking at it again. Maybe a Toto Alote, who is jobless, can be looked at, and this team given to him. He's not encouraging competition. Last week I said it.
He's never done it in his 7 years.
This Ole-like way of coaching.
Klopp has never encouraged competition in his 7 years. Like I'm saying, look, if Klopp has Trent fit for 10 years, he will play Trent for 10 years until his legs wither and fall off.
You see, if there's anything that Eric Ten Hag has done to the United team, if he can bench Ronaldo, nobody is untouchable.
I think that's a big statement.
Malacia, a bit swollen-headed. Come on, go sit down. Look, Shaw, come back. If Shaw were to misbehave, come on, get up. Where is size 50? Where is he?
Coolly chilling on the bench.
Simple.
Sancho.
Obo Omode, Jadon Sancho. Inconsistent. Go to the bench. That is the way you run a football club.
Let nobody be comfortable. Jurgen Klopp clearly has Liverpool feeling comfortable. Let's get to Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea Football Club are beginning to settle down into life under Graham Potter. They were up against Wolverhampton Wanderers. We thought Diego Costa would bring the magic against his former employees. It didn't happen. 3-0, Chelsea won emphatic. So Chelsea doing the business there. Daniel, quick thoughts on Chelsea winning in style. They switched up the team. They have a Champions League game coming, so they made about 4 or 5 changes. Still managed to get the intensity. Kepa started last week, started this week as well. Thoughts of Graham Potter's Chelsea?
Look, that's what big teams are about. It's about depth, strength in depth, quality. And this is what the manager wants. He brings in makes a lot of changes. They still give him the right result. Then the guys who played against Milan will be sitting there thinking, wait, if I lose guard, somebody will easily come and replace me. And that is what it's about. I like the way he started his life at Chelsea. It clearly wasn't going to be an easy job. And he started a bit slow, nicked in results here, grinded out results. But in the past 2 games against Milan and against Wolves, we are seeing that free-flowing attacking football. We are seeing the Chelsea players enjoying their football again, creating opportunities. The fact that they even have the opportunity to miss chances and still win by 3 goals to 0.
They look really good in the attacking sequence. Very different from Tuchel's Chelsea.
And they knew exactly what they were doing. When they were coming at goal, coming at Wolves' goal, they seemed very purposeful. The players were on the same wavelength. It looks like, look, Potter is a good manager. We know he's a good manager.
Especially on offense.
On offense. And if you give him the time, clearly he will begin to make this Chelsea and put his imprint on this Chelsea team. But still, I think it will take time. I still think it will take time. This Wolves team themselves are struggling. Their manager has been sacked, and they were managerless in this Chelsea game. So I'm waiting to see for the next 2-3 weeks. Let me see how Chelsea will do before we can start judging on Graham Potter on how well he's done.
Let me just go to the other matches. There are a lot of games to be played. Let's get to Manchester City versus Southampton. Looked like Southampton were going to put up a fight. Looked like Haaland wasn't going to score, and then the floodgates just went open. We'll give you that game, and then we'll give you Brighton versus Tottenham as well. Welcome back. Let me get to coach on Manchester City Southampton. Your good friend Hassan Hotel is under a lot of pressure. There's been talk about him getting sacked. I still think it's early days. I like him. I like his style of coaching, but he got pasted effortlessly. 4-0. I mean, Manchester City didn't even break a sweat.
If they're going to sack him, surely it cannot be because of the loss against Man City. That would be so unfair. Because these guys are that good. Man City, they are that good. Look, I think they'll win the league. They'll win the league.
Yeah. The
second point is that, without a doubt, they'll have to go and challenge for the Champions League and win it. Now, if you go back to yesterday's games, constant, it was just a matter of time. Because they kept creating chances upon chances upon chances. So it was just when, with the first one going. So once the first one went in, you knew the floodgate had been opened. And the beauty of the football,
very easy. Very simple one-touch football.
Look, the last time I enjoyed a team play football like this, I think it was the same Pep Guardiola Barcelona team.
That team, man.
The team that had Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets.
But this team don't even overpass. Maybe
they overpass. But this one,
when the ball is direct,
they'll let it go. Let it go. And it's been done to suit the DNA of the league. This is the way the English game is to be played. But they have brought some form of proper passing game with some form of proper intensity. And for me, look, they shouldn't sack also Hilton because of this. This Southampton team, no matter the manager, will struggle. He's the best manager to get them to stay in the league. Because they are not spending proper money. They are buying prospects. 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, maximum 10 million players, prospect. So if the idea is to stay in the league and not to be competitive for any maybe Champions League spot, no. He's the best manager.
Mid-table is success for them.
Satisfactory.
If you get a Europa League or Conference League,
you
that's
take it.
Exceeding expectations.
Exactly. So it was Man City. Nobody had doubt what the outcome of the game will be, and it went according to the plan. 4 was even a respectable score.
It was.
Because if you look at the chances created, they should have corrected a minimum.
That's how good Manchester City are. You get beaten 4, and you know that you escaped with a respectable score.
The save that the goalkeeper made.
No, Gavin Bazunu
some
made
of them unbelievable.
He made at least four really good saves.
Unbelievable saves.
Yeah, that's actually true.
So you add that on any other day, that's 7.
7 is 1.
Oboshi. 8 would have been Lamley.
Daniel, Tottenham Hotspur, they struggled to beat Brighton and Hove Albion. It was another very difficult game to watch. Tottenham games have become very hard for me to watch. I need to motivate myself. I need to walk around the room like, what's going on?
That's Antonio Conte. And I feel
they are tired in the league, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, look, when he comes into your team, especially a team that has struggled for a long time like Tottenham Hotspur, I don't think the fans really care about how they play the football. They are result-oriented. They only want to win. They are tired. They want to hold a trophy. They want to feel what it's like to be champions of something. And that's what Conte will bring you. He brings you that stability at the back. Yeah. He brings you that winning mentality. And forget what happened against Arsenal in the North London derby. Tottenham Hotspur are third on the league table. I think they're what is it? 4 points behind us now.
Yeah,
I think it's 4 points.
Very much in the hunt.
They are still there. They are still there. Look, you don't expect Antonio Conte teams to come out and dominate possession and create chances and score goals for fun. No, this is what he gives you. The fact that you know you don't need to score more than one goal to win a game. That's how good they are defensively. Very difficult to break down. And then they have the likes of Kane and Son up top who will punish anybody who gives them the room to operate. So I think it's a good way to bounce back because, trust me, Brighton is a very difficult team to face, especially even after Graham Potter has left. Roberto De Zerbi he's a very good coach. If you watched him in the Serie A last season with Sassuolo, he made his mark. He came into the Premier League. First game last week, he drew 3-3 at Anfield. At a point, he led by 2-0. So just an indication of how good he is. This is a Brighton team that beat Tottenham Hotspur last season. And a new White Hart Lane just a couple of weeks to the end of the season. So the players themselves knew what it felt like to beat Tottenham Hotspur. So I don't think it is fair, despite the fact that this is typical Conte. I don't think it's fair to look at the style of the game and the result and say that a win is a win.
A win is a win. 3 points in the back. Let's get to that game between Everton and Man United, and then we'll take a break here. So Everton came into this game being the best defensive team in the league. United came into this game looking for a win, 3 points. Ronaldo was looking for his 700th goal. It's been desperate against Omonia Nicosia. It was an absolute poor performance from Cristiano Ronaldo. He wanted something to cling on to because it's been a tough season for him. Everton gave him that platform. He came out flying high in that one. Important 3 points for Man United, goal number 700. Daniel, quick thoughts on that game?
He's the greatest of all time.
Coach, it was meant to be. And I think that is the climax of the game. Forget about the performance of the two teams. At the end of the day, if you've got a player who scored 700 club goals.
Just club.
Just for the club. We've not gone into his national team goals. Look, it tells you of his class. The world, this generation, we are blessed.
Very.
Very, very blessed to be part of this.
I saw a stat that had me weak. They say if Erling Haaland needs to equal Ronaldo's goals scored in club football, he will have to score at least 43 goals for the next 16 years or 16 seasons.
Continuously.
That is madness.
That's crazy.
And Ronaldo is still playing.
Yeah. Look, Nketsia, this Ronaldo and Messi, I feel, again, to borrow coach's words, we are a blessed generation. 15 years consecutive, they've dominated. You see, and they've made it look normal.
Yep.
They've made Ronaldo has 700, Messi has 691, and by January he will have 700 plus. That is what we are talking about. That's the level of greatness we are talking about. And you see, it transcends sports. We've seen Serena, we've seen Federer, we've seen Djokovic, we've seen Nadal in tennis. We've seen Tom Brady, we've seen Kobe, we've seen LeBron.
Exactly.
We've seen Tiger Woods. If you go, we've seen Lewis Hamilton, we've seen Michael Schumacher. Look, when you go across every sport, the GOATs in every sport existed during this generation. So I think there's something special about us, and we need to go down on our knees and thank God for the opportunity to be alive.
No, it's true. For real, though. Not every generation gets to witness this level of greatness.
At all. Usain Bolt.
I'm wondering what will happen, say 10, 15 years now, when Ronaldo and Messi are retired and people need to watch their highlights of people. I'm sure people will start disrespecting them very soon. But you see, if you were there, you had to be there.
Yeah.
I think those who do that,
you had to be there.
Were those, or would be those who
didn't get to watch.
Yeah, but for some of me, we here, forget it. I think they are the best
ever.
The best ever. let's get to our second break. When we come back, I'll read some messages, and then we'll get to the Spanish La Liga. Real Madrid were in action. Barcelona were in action as well. There's a lot to show you. Stay with us. Welcome back to Scorecard on Citi TV. Let me read a few of your messages before we move on to our next item. This one here says that our Liverpool Football Club are back to factory reset. Happy for Arsenal's win, but I'm a United fan. Kudos to Man United. Better things are yet to come. William Jidula Bosu from Apollonia. Okay. This one here says, good evening, guys. Clearly an Arsenal fan. It says, Potter leading the pack of English coaches to greatness. For Arsenal, I think they will finish in the top 2. Talk less of a title challenge. Coach, please, the weather is hilarious. Thy follower has got a lile and ready to make thy proud. Ready to make thee proud. I want some one smooth, one chaff. Bedroom maestro from Insawam. Bedroom maestro. He says, he says, thy follower has got a lile and is ready
he's
to
a committed follower.
Ready to make thee proud.
That is where my happiness is. So. Yeah.
More messages. This one here says, if coaches, management, and players take or listen to your, if coaches and management and also players take or listen to your comments very well and make use of it, Ghana football will go on really well. But coach, do you know that African players gain experience when they are old? These are the players North African teams are using, but Ghanaians say they are too old. I'm not sure the context of that message, to be honest. This one says, I like the show. You guys look nice, and thank God my team Chelsea grabbed another 3 points. Also, this one is coming from Yao Adjaman in Ho. He says, fantastic evening to you guys. Please tell coach that I love his analysis on Oklu, and that he is not good for Hasselhoff. Same to Otoado, he's not good for Black Stars. I don't know how Otoado managed to sneak into this. Guys, okay, more messages coming through here. I saw our guy's message. Watching 60 the shit on God. I saw his message in the mix there. I will fish it out in a bit. This one here says, Ben, Ghana League has no credibility because referees decide outcomes of games. Hearts and Kotoko matches should be given fair officiating while playing against other teams in Ghana. Until that happens, they will win the league and FA Cup and go and disgrace Ghana to the FA and referees do something needful. Okay. Ralph from Accra Newtown says it's a blue weekend. I'm happy my darling club Chelsea won yesterday. I think Coach Nimley should take over the House of Folk team. Well, he has said it. He says he will do a way better job than what is being done there currently. I'll come back to my message box in a bit here, but let's go to the Coliseum Alfonso Perez. That's where Getafe Football Club were when they lost to Real Madrid. 1-0 is how that game ended. Welcome back. Daniel, quick thoughts on that one. Real Madrid getting a difficult away win on the road. Just snap thoughts on that.
Yeah, very important win. I like what is happening in the La Liga. I'm happy. Last season it was a bit too easy for Real Madrid. This time it looks like Barcelona are back. They are pushing and taking Real Madrid down the wire. It's neck for neck. Same points, same wins, same draws, same losses. And I'm just waiting for the El Clasico. That will be the game that will show me where Barcelona is, because we know Real Madrid are already at the top. It will show us where Barca.
They've lost back-to-back Champions League games against Inter, and then against Bayern. Yep.
Yeah, so against Real Madrid, that will be another true test for them. Last season, they completely dispatched of Real Madrid, but at that point, Real Madrid had already won the league. So you could say Madrid were not really that serious in the game. But this time around, both teams gunning for the title. Let's see how it goes.
Let's get to the Italian Serie A. Let's get to AC Milan versus Juventus. Big game was at the San Siro. Juventus, though, I can't even recognize the team that won 7 straight Scudetti. I can't recognize them anymore. Struggling. And AC Milan were there to ensure that they sprinkled more salt in their wounds. Welcome back, Coach. Just quick thoughts on this game again. Juventus are still on the slide. They say they will give Allegri a little more time to figure things. They seem to believe that he will turn the ship around.
Yeah, I have that belief as well. That
what is that belief grounded in?
No, you see, if you are without Pogba, you are without Di Maria, you are without Chiesa, these three guys alone, they walk into this team, they are a completely different team. And I'm not sure they had a plan B.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they knew.
Okay.
They knew of the Chiesa's injury because he got injured last season.
Yeah.
But the Pogba and Di Maria situation completely took them off.
And those were big for their ambitions this
Exactly.
season.
If you look at what they were trying to do, the sort of way, because don't forget, he brought the best out of Pogba, you know, doing his first thing at Juve. And for me, Milan had to bounce back from that disappointment against Chelsea midweek to prepare them for Chelsea again at the San Siro. I really want to watch that game again because I think that on the day they could have done a bit better, and I'm sure the coach will remind them that look, you guys are far better than what
the results,
you showed at Stamford Bridge. And look, Olivier Giroud, I think I respect him a lot. Because of his contribution, the way he goes about his football team. He may not be that flashy number 9, but he's a team number 9, somebody who brings the best out of everybody in and around him. Oh, come on, man, don't do that. Come on, man, don't do that.
He was trying to ambush you.
And I've told him he shouldn't do that.
I like that you quickly recognized it.
As usual. So, you see, with Giroud, Milan is always on the ascendancy. And look, I think against Chelsea again, Rafael Leao will have to come to the party. I didn't like what he did in midweek. But Juve...
He says Reece James is the toughest opponent he has ever faced.
Yeah, as for Reece James, I've always said that if I've got money and I've got players to buy, he's the first player I'll buy from Chelsea. I buy him. They put
top
the price,
quality.
I pay.
Scored, assisted in the Champions League as well.
I take him to United quick. Without delay, because he's a top-class player.
Yeah.
He's a top-class. And I think Napoli, they are the team to beat in Italy.
Yeah. They are scoring.
The Sarri board has come to the party. Look, they are a delight to watch. I watched them.
Sorry, see, they were not allowing him to do his things in the
Premier watched League. Them against Liverpool.
Sarri is a Lazio.
No, he's who's the coach of?
This is I think Spalletti.
Spalletti.
Yeah, Spalletti.
The Santo man.
Spalletti. I think he's doing wonderful things with them.
Then just quick thoughts on AC Milan. Winning against Juventus. Again, this was another big game, but Juventus,
it wasn't.
There was a lack of fights from them that was
it wasn't surprising. Look, coach has said it all. Look, the injuries at the beginning of the season completely wrecked their plans. Completely. Because if you look at them last season and you look at what they lacked, and you look at the signings of Di Maria and Pogba, it addressed everything that they lacked in that team, and that is creativity.
Yeah.
They have one of the most ruthless finishers in Europe as it stands, in Vlahovic. But he can't get supply because the midfield is so stale. They can't create from anywhere. And that's why Pogba and Di Maria was brought in. And unfortunately for them, both players are out long term. Chiesa is also out. I think he returned to training recently, but it will take time. Luckily for them, the World Cup period is coming and some of these guys will be able to recover quickly enough before the season resumes. But look, I was not surprised based on what I saw. I've seen from this Juve team this season. It was the best they could have done was to stifle Milan and defend. But this Milan team they've passed that stage where they are faced by these things. Their mentality has grown over the years. They are champions for a reason, and they were able to grind out the result and win by 2-0.
Well, let's get to Germany. Big game over the weekend. It's always a big game. This was at the Signal Iduna Park, I believe. Borussia Dortmund were up against Bayern Munich. It ended 2-2. Dortmund literally equalized with the last touch of the game. Very, very dramatic encounter. Anthony Modeste coming through the clutch. That was literally the last touch of the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm happy it ended this way. I mean, we are fed up, isn't it?
We are fed up. We are tired.
With how many times Dortmund as a club have not put up proper resistance to Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
We've gotten to the stage where we want this league to be very competitive. Do I think Bayern will win it? I still believe they'll win it. Because at the end of the day, this is just the first round. I'm sure by the time they'll
start separating themselves.
Number 20, 22, 24, they would have been declared league champ because player for player, they are the best team in the league by far. Again, one thing that is worrying is the manner in which they've been conceding goals. Because Bayern Munich of late
they barely keep a clean sheet.
Yes.
From last season.
From last season, and that is not proper. I think that if this team doesn't get to the semi-finals or final of the Champions League, they will sack.
They gave him a warning at the end of last season.
Yeah, they will sack him
even before the season.
They will sack him, and then when if Alote is free, they'll give him the job. If by then Jurgen Klopp has been sacked by Liverpool, he will also get the job. Because definitely these two guys want to have it. Thomas Tuchel. If he's there, he needs a job. He's my very good friend, so they'll get him a job so that we go and do. But look, the Bundesliga, I believe, is not a competitive league.
10 years, one person has won the
unacceptable.
The 10 seasons running.
It is clearly unacceptable. You can't do that.
That's a gardeners league. It's not like a farmers league. It's a gardeners league.
Is that what we do here in Ghana? The rest of the teams have come to accept the fact that
it's Kotoko Hearts.
Absolute rubbish. What is that?
Yeah.
They go and don't laugh, Quanti. Absolute
they
rubbish.
Go and get beat.
They get beat easily. Disgrace easily. We have to stop that and make it competitive. That's it.
Daniel, quick thoughts on the Dortmund new signings that have come in. Schlotterbeck doing really well. Karim Adeyemi, we saw him. Even Anthony Modeste, I think he was at Stuttgart last season. They brought him in, doing really well for them. Just snap thoughts. I mean, if they are not going to sell all of their players by the end of next season, they've shown that, Bayern Munich have shown this season, at least from what we've seen, that they are not invincible. Like, somebody can give them a chase down.
Yeah, somebody can give them a chase down, but the people chase that, would they be as consistent enough? That's the problem. It's not about stopping Bayern in the odd game, drawing with them or beating them here.
It's about winning your other games.
Winning the other games, keeping that consistent run and taking them down the line. And I don't think the Bundesliga teams are well equipped to be able to do that. They just can't. The firepower at Bayern Munich is just too much. And you see, the fact that Bayern themselves don't look too convincing. I can't see them going very far in the Champions League. And if it reaches the 10 of the year, the second half of the season, and they drop out of the Champions League, that is their full concentration on the league. There's no way they are going to lose the title. So I just feel like, yes, they will win, but we want to see how they will win. We want to see it in a more competitive manner. Let it be a 4-point gap or a 6-point gap maximum. It shouldn't be 20 and no. It shouldn't be double
win
figures.
With 6 games to spare and that type of stuff.
That just makes it a bit too boring. But Dortmund have done some good work in the transfer window. We didn't expect what happened to Haaland to happen to him, and unfortunately, they quickly needed to make some decisions and get the attacking side of the pitch equipped again. That's why they went for Modeste. They had just sold Haaland, went for Haaland, it didn't work out. Modeste came in. He's not going to be as prolific as Haaland or Halle, but he's doing his part. And I like that he's a team player. He can bring in his teammates into action. But another player in Dortmund that I think we should take a look at is Moukoko. Youngster, from the academy.
17 years old.
17 years old. He's been brought into the first team, and he's doing some wonderful work. He was in action in the Champions League, I think, in Tuesday against Sevilla. Brilliant player. The left foot. Look,
you can't even tell from his build that he's just 17.
He's just 17.
Very mature, very strong on the ball.
The talent in the Bundesliga is what. You look at Musiala, you look at Moukoko. These guys, that is the future.
RB Leipzig have their own talent pool.
They took Sancho, they modified him, then they sent him back. They brought Haaland, they modified him, they sent him back. And it's not nice that that's how the Bundesliga is turning out to be. And it's usually Dortmund, because Bayern Munich
Dortmund really understand this talent thing.
Yes, but look, whatever they are teaching their players there is something that the top teams around Europe should emulate, because the football education in Germany is top. When the players come out of there, you can see the class is different.
Maybe the trainer scout is doing a good job.
When it comes to transitioning players,
you don't get what I'm talking about.
No, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I know what you are doing. When it comes to transitioning players from the Dortmund reserve teams or the junior teams to the main team, I think Otoado does a brilliant job. Moukoko is a perfect example of somebody like that. He's actually the youngest goal scorer ever in the history of the Bundesliga. He scored his first goal, I think, age 16 and some days. So doing a good job. Not on our item, but just quick thoughts. Xabi Alonso has been appointed head coach of Bayer Leverkusen. He led his team to a 4-0 win. Just quick thoughts on what you make of him and his coaching career path.
I think he's going to be a brilliant coach. That is what I think. I have not actually studied, but if you look at even the way he played the game, the manner in which he was so effective and very efficient in the way he played the game.
I feel like players like that make good coaches.
Yes, he was very pragmatic. He was one Spanish player who was not as flamboyant as Xavi and Iniesta.
Yeah. But he knew how to get his job done.
He knew how to do his job.
Yeah.
And he brought, I mean, when you, I think he was part of the 2010 team, isn't it?
Yeah, he won the World Cup.
Yeah, he won the World Cup with them. And that was where they had Xavi, he and Busquets, and Xavi in the middle. And then so Iniesta always play on the left, and then David and Fernando Torres. So look, I think he's going to be a good coach. And for those who write about him and speak about him, they said he's very meticulous.
You can tell.
About his way of doing things.
Leverkusen haven't kept a clean sheet in a long time. For them to win 4-0 on his debut, keep a clean sheet as well.
Yes, he's very particular. If you don't heed what he tells you, you're out. And I think he's going to be a very, very excellent disciplinarian. They look, all these guys, they look up to Pep Guardiola.
Yep.
The way Pep does his thing, that's the way the Xavi, the Alonso, Arteta, they all want to, because they see Pep as the brand. And if you want to be successful, you need to follow Pep Guardiola.
So they're all dressing like him.
Yes, they're all dressing like him, basically.
Daniel, just quick thoughts on Alonso before we
I'm happy for him, and this is how I like these young managers to transition. When they enter management, you don't go for the top jobs first, because if it goes wrong there, it can completely destroy your career. So you go for these little jobs,
mid-level
jobs, work your way up, so that when you get your dream job, you know that you are ready to hit the ground running, and it's not give me time, give me 3 or 4 years. When you come in, we know what to expect. We know that trophies, results will get them, and I'm happy for him. I just hope that he does very well, because as I said, the talent pool, the football education in Germany, it's top level, and for him to go into, he's going to add his knowledge from the Spanish La Liga, the Spanish football knowledge to the German one. I think it's I wish him all the best, and I really hope that he reaches the levels that we know he can reach.
Let me read a few messages before we go. This one's from Patience from Koforidia. Says, we all know the type of player Mohamed Salah is. You say a poacher. He's been poaching money off his hard work and sweat. And now that Liverpool has made the decision of selling him, Salah is bleeding. This one also says, good evening. Always great watching you guys. Enoch Jampo from Adesu says, we are waiting for Hearts at the Super Cup.
Adesu. Yeah, that's where my family house is.
Adesu.
Yeah. Shout out to Enoch.
Roland Vangsboon, inside Control Markets, says that with Hearts of Oak's issues, I think the management team is also to be blamed for the poor performance. The decision to bring in this, to sack the coach really hurts them. They need football people to run the club. This one says, any Hearts of Oak coach who insists on playing Caleb Amankwa in that number 6 position, they will suffer heavily. So you are giving a tactical warning to the coaches. This one says, happy my team won. I think I read this already. Let me read one more. Says, gradually we are losing our credibility as a football nation. Recently, Asante Kotoko yesterday, Accra Hearts of Oak, when it comes to Africa, the performance of our clubs constantly coming down every single year. It's always political talk by management and no action. Martin Edu from Kweu Abetifi with that message. And then finally, this one says, God bless you, coach. You said it all bold and truthful, but you guys should start taking Arsenal seriously, because we mean business. El Razak in Obuasi. I take Arsenal seriously. I like Arsenal. I don't know what you're talking about. Party is there, so obviously these days we like Arsenal even extra. Thank you, coach. Thank you, Daniel. It's been a great show. Thank you guys for doing the watching. Same time next week, you know where to find us. Scorecard will be here on Citi TV.